A big part of discourse that I've been seeing recently is the increase in prices in video games. Now, me, I'm a big gamer. You know, I'm actually recording this on a Lenovo Legion Go. I still have my PS Vita. I have a PlayStation 5. I still have my 4. I still have my backwards compatible 60 gig big boy PS3. I'm about this life, right? What trips me out is when people complain about the price of things, right? This happens. Prices increase. People get greedy. R&D costs go up. Blah, 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 blah. We want the companies to lower their prices, you know, stop charging so much for Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and, you know, Nintendo Online, and why are Nintendo games so expensive, and then there's DLC that's not worth it. Why does NBA 2K and WWE 2K have so many microtransactions? Why is this game pay to play? Why? Why do you keep buying it? Why do you take your hard-earned money, go to the store, go, you know, use your thumbs to go to your Google stores, your Xbox stores? Why do you do this repeatedly? And then you hop online and you complain about it. You get on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and you make these long YouTube videos about how things are unfair and how it costs so much and blah, blah, blah. Why do you bitch and buy? Why? That's the only question I need the answer to. Because for me, one, I don't buy shit full price. My backlog is insane. There's Super Nintendo games that I still haven't played yet. I got shit to do. I can't tell you the last time I bought a game day one. If I could figure it out, I'll post it on screen, or I won't. I don't know. We'll see how I feel when I edit this. But like, there's so much other shit you could do. You don't have to buy the new hotness day one. You can wait for a sale. You can wait for that Game of the Year edition that has all of the DLC for like $40. You could play indie games, some AA titles. Joints be day one, come out at $20. A lot of you got jobs, you have kids, you got a wife, you got shit to do. You don't have time to sit around and play a 60 to 100 hour game anyway. And if you do spend money on that one game, that's probably it for you. That's all you playing. So where's all the complaining coming from? Cause see, when you bitch and buy, the companies don't care. They don't care at all. Bad press is still press for them. You're giving them free marketing. When you complain about something, especially if you're somebody with a platform, let's say you got, 20,000, 50,000 or more followers, subscribers, whatever, and you spend your time bitching, in an hour-long video or in multiple videos over the course of a week, 2 weeks, what's gonna happen is your audience is gonna watch. 50% of them are gonna agree with you. 50% may not. And out of that 50% that disagrees with you, maybe 25% is gonna go find out just how bad you said it is. They're gonna give that company more money. Now, once they play it, they might think it sucks too. They might think that it's, a financial black hole. They might think it's predatory, but it doesn't matter. The money's spent. It's over. It's done. If you paid me $60 to slap you in the face, guess what I'm gonna do every time I see you? You guessed it. I'm gonna slap the shit out of you every single time. And I'm not gonna stop until you stop giving me money. Because then where's the benefit to me? My hands red, swollen and shit. I'm not even a violent person like that. But for that $60, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. And you can complain about how many times I slapped you. You can tell your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your brothers and sisters. It don't matter. You could vilify the shit out of me. EA was listed as the worst company to work for, what, like 3 years in a row? They still here. They still here and they still making the same fucking games. It's not even like they making new shit. They're not even like, oh man, they hate us so much. Let's treat our employees better. Let's pay our CEOs less. Let's come up with some great new original. No, they didn't do any of that shit. Because they didn't have to. Because you kept giving them your money. You cannot ever bitch and buy. You can play a demo or something and be like, this kind of trash. I'm going to save my money. We do need someone to buy some of this shit, to tell the rest of us that it's trash. You know, reviewers are helpful. But then you got to be careful about your reviewers. Because, you can't trust IGN, that's for fucking sure. Somebody got to take the bullet for us. I prefer it be somebody with loads of disposable income, possibly no children. That would be great. Ideal, I think. But for the rest of us? For us regular degulars? Nah, dog. Stop spending the money. Stop. You have a problem.
Stop it. Get some help.
For real. Alright, I'll put it to you like this. I don't buy sports games yearly anymore. I used to be big on that. Huge. We used to have like Madden parties around my way. Have the multiple TVs, have multiple rooms, maybe some prizes, a couple drinks, some snacks. You know what I mean? It was a time. I used to go to every midnight release, every midnight launch. I was there. Whether I was working it or I was just a customer, I was in there. Then I got older and I was like, but why though? I mean, outside of playing with my friends, which I seldom do at this point, I just play like the career mode or franchise. Fuck, I need an updated roster for. I don't really watch football like that, so any rule changes, I don't need them in my game. What is the benefit of paying $60, $70 for a brand new yearly title? I personally don't have one. Now, what you have to do as a consumer, as the person with the money, you have money before you give it away. As the person with the money, you have to decide, do I really need this? And if I feel I need, because that's a strong word. You don't need. But if you feel you need it so bad, why? Because you ask a lot of questions outside of yourself. You ask, why does this cost so much? Why are there so many microtransactions? Why is it pay to win? But do you ask why you're paying for it? Have you ever? Because when I started asking that question, I realized I needed a lot less games. When I went through, because I have no problem with the subscription services. I have PlayStation Plus and Game Pass. PC Game Pass. What I started to realize is if I bought every single game that I was interested in, that looked cool, one, I would somehow be more broke than I already am. Two, I would just have a library of games that I've only played maybe 25% of. Where's the logic in that? Please find it for me. Because when I thought to myself, I was like, there's a lot of dope games out there. Especially me, I love RPGs. Western RPGs, JRPGs, strategy RPGs, whatever. Love them. Those are long ass fucking games. Dog, I own Code Vein And I own, what's that other shit? I don't know. Because I own it, I've never turned it on once. At this point, it doesn't even fucking matter what game it is. How many of you are like that? How many of you will purchase some shit, have it, complain about your back catalog, and then buy something else day one? Why? So you can be part of the conversation online? Nobody cares about your opinion. Nobody cares about my opinion. I'm literally only doing this because maybe I have narcissistic tendencies or something. I'm sure there's a couch I should be sitting on right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? You can't bitch and buy. You just can't. I think we've passed the point of criticism here. A lot of times I stand strong on the concept of not criticizing or rating something that I have not personally had hands on with, whether it's music or movies or whatever. But when you start to recognize patterns, when you start to see not just the way a particular game or franchise or even company is going, but the way an industry is going, you don't need hands-on for that. I think at a certain point, you can look at EA and say, nah, I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna wait. At least that. If the desire is just too strong, at least wait. Also, alternatives. Like I said, indies, some AA titles. You know, you like choice games and stuff like that. Try Greedfall. That studio just closed. Right. Games still exist though, for now, until they're delisted at some point. That's a whole nother frustrating spiral. Do something else, because now as a consumer group, we're bordering on insanity. We're doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, and we're never going to get them. Why? Why would they ever willingly stop or change or innovate if they're making money hand over fist? If they can afford to give a CEO that is leaving the company, that is just shy of objectively leaving the company worse than they found it, they can still find a way to give that person millions of dollars on their way out the door. What are we doing other than bitching and buying? Can't do it. We can't do this anymore. So, in summation, wait, get shit on sale, try some indies, try a different genre of game. If all you play is shooters, try something else. If all you play is RPGs, try something else. Maybe that'll help. Tackle that backlog. Do it. Even if you play some shit from Super Nintendo that, you know, you heard once from a friend's older brother was like the greatest game ever, and you play it for 5 seconds and you fucking hate it, at least you tried. At least there's that. It's not this gnawing at the back of your skull like, remember that game? You remember? Try that game. No, just fucking play it, dog. Just play it. Might unlock a whole new franchise of now dirt cheap $5 and $10 games for you. Might unlock a whole new genre of games that are going to be cheaper for you than any AAA title could ever fucking be at the deepest discount. It's too much choice. It's too many options. Dig through your digital stores. Fuck it. If you got a system that has discs, dig through a GameStop, damn it. Go get you a used game. Play that shit for 7 days. Find out whether or not you like it. Take it back and get a refund if you don't. There's options. We have power. They don't make money. We give them money. And that's an important distinction. And not just pulling money out of their ass. They're getting it from our pockets. So before you bitch and buy, just take a look at your wallet, your pocketbook, your purse, your whatever. Hold that cash in your hand. Hold that card in your hand. Open up your banking app and look at those numbers. And then decide if you want to hand any of that shit over to somebody who's sitting in an ivory tower who doesn't give a fuck about games. Not as an art, not as an industry, not as a hobby. That shit is just something in their stock portfolio. And you decide whether that person deserves your money for the quality of game that you're about to spend $60, $70, damn near $100. Come on, yo. Take that power back. All right, I'm done. I'm done. I promise you I'm done. I'm only going to talk about this maybe once a month until something changes or I drop dead. So I promise you won't hear about this again for like another 5 minutes.
I'm coming back, you'll get gunned up and clap quick. Your whole damn army getting gunned up in that shit. You shoulda never warned me, now revenge is on that list. But shit I gotta do, gunning you with that match shit. I'm coming back, you'll get gunned up and